Princess and the Silver-Maned Unicorn. High above the green hills of Lyria stood the Tower of Winds, a slender spire of silver-white stone. At the top lived Princess Seraphina, daughter of King Alarion. Though she had silk gowns, gold goblets, and books from every corner of the kingdom, her heart was heavy. For as long as she could remember, Seraphina had felt a strange pull toward the distant whispering woods, the dark forest beyond the castle walls. She often stood at her balcony, gazing past the vineyards, past the rivers, toward the mist-shrouded trees. "Why do you always look to the woods, my dear?" her governess would ask. "I don't know," Seraphina would reply softly. "It feels like something there is calling me." The court physicians called it restless spirit. The king called it nonsense. But Seraphina's dreams were filled with flashes of moonlight, glowing hooves, and the sound of galloping far away. One stormy evening, an old woman came to the gates of the castle seeking shelter. She wore a cloak of moss and smelled of rain. Seraphina, curious as ever, snuck from her chambers to bring the woman warm bread and tea. The crone took Seraphina's hand and peered into her eyes. "You are the one," she whispered. "The one?" Seraphina asked, startled. "The one the unicorn will choose. When the silver moon rises full 3 nights from now, follow the call you feel. It will lead you to your destiny." Before Seraphina could ask another question, a guard appeared to escort the old woman away. But the words stuck in Seraphina's mind like burrs. On the night of the 3rd full moon, Seraphina rose from her bed, wrapped herself in a cloak, and crept from the castle with only a lantern. The world was silver and still. The wind carried a sound, faint at first, then clearer, the distant cry of a horse. Her heart pounded. She followed the sound across meadows and streams until she reached the whispering woods. The trees were tall and black, their branches like fingers. Yet Seraphina was not afraid. Deep within the woods, moonlight pooled in a small clearing, and there, standing as if carved from starlight, was the creature from her dreams, a unicorn, with a shining silver mane and a spiraling horn glowing faintly blue. Chapter 4. The Unicorn's Choice. The unicorn regarded her with ancient, intelligent eyes. Seraphina knelt. "I don't know why I'm here," she whispered. The unicorn stepped forward until its muzzle brushed her hair. A warmth spread through her, a rush of understanding, as if the unicorn spoke directly to her soul. "You are chosen," the voice seemed to say. "There is a darkness rising in Lyria. Only you and I together can restore the balance." Before Seraphina could reply, the ground trembled. From the shadows emerged a pack of black wolves with eyes like embers. The unicorn reared, horn blazing with light. Chapter 5. The Flight Through the Forest. "Get on!" The words were not spoken aloud but echoed in her mind. Seraphina grabbed the unicorn's silken mane and swung herself onto its back. The unicorn leapt into a gallop, faster than any horse, weaving between trees as the wolves gave chase. Branches clawed at her cloak. The forest seemed endless, but the unicorn never faltered. At last they burst into a moonlit glade. The unicorn stamped its hoof, sending a ring of light across the grass. The wolves yelped and fled into the night. Seraphina slid to the ground, trembling. "Thank you," she whispered. "You are safe." "For now," the unicorn's mind voice said, "but the danger is not over. The shadow sorcerer has awakened." The unicorn told her the tale as they rested. Long ago, before her kingdom was built, there was a sorcerer named Malrek who sought to control all magic. The unicorn herd had sealed him beneath the roots of the whispering woods. But now, greed and war had disturbed the land's balance, cracking the seal. Malrek's power seeped out as shadow wolves, nightmare winds and withering crops. "You must find the moonstone," said the unicorn. "It is the only thing that can bind him again." At dawn, Seraphina climbed onto the unicorn once more. They journeyed beyond the woods into lands she had never seen, crystal caves, misty marshes, and sunlit valleys. In each place, Seraphina faced trials. In the Marsh of Whispers, she had to choose the correct path, guided only by the unicorn's intuition. In the Cave of Echoes, she solved a riddle carved into crystal walls to retrieve a fragment of the moonstone. In the Valley of Winds, she calmed a raging storm by singing the lullaby her mother had once sung to her. Piece by piece, the moonstone's fragments glowed brighter in her satchel. On the 7th night of their journey, Seraphina and the unicorn reached an abandoned village. As they rested, a stranger appeared, a handsome knight named Lord Rin. "I was sent by your father to find you," he said. "Come home." "You are in danger." Seraphina hesitated. She longed to see her father, but the unicorn pawed the ground nervously. At midnight, Seraphina awoke to find Rin holding her satchel, the moonstone pieces spilling from his hands. "They belong to my master now," he sneered. His shadow stretched unnaturally long, twisting into Malrek's shape. Before Rin could escape, the unicorn charged, horn blazing. Seraphina snatched the moonstone pieces and leapt onto the unicorn's back. Together they raced to the ancient stone circle at the heart of the forest, the place where Malrek had first been bound. There, under the light of the full moon, Seraphina assembled the moonstone on the altar. Malrek appeared, swirling black smoke and fire. "You think you can bind me again, little princess?" he hissed. "Yes," Seraphina said, her voice strong. "Not just me. Us." She pressed her hand to the unicorn's mane. Light flared so bright it seemed the stars themselves bent closer. The moonstone burst into a column of white fire. Malrek screamed as the light pulled him back, sealing him beneath the roots once more. The wolves dissolved into mist. The forest sighed, alive again. When the light faded, Seraphina found herself kneeling in the circle, the unicorn standing beside her, glowing softly. "It is done," the unicorn said. "Lyria is safe, for now." Seraphina returned to the castle, no longer the restless girl in the lonely tower, but a young woman with the courage of a queen. The king wept and embraced her. From that day on, she was no longer forbidden from the whispering woods. Often she would ride out on the silver-maned unicorn, visiting the people of her kingdom, healing small hurts, and listening to the land. And sometimes when the moon was full, those who walked near the woods could hear the sound of hooves like falling stars and see a princess riding under the silver light, her laughter echoing through the night.